Okay, now we are live. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, hello everyone. Today, inshallah, we will be talking about an introduction about Azure Bot Services, where we will see it's like we can call it a 101, session to introduce you to the bot services Azure provide and how you can start from this place. If you like this session or such type of sessions, please let us know. You can contact us on meetups and our social media accounts, and so we can proceed and maybe produce or make some even advanced sessions about Azure bot services. So, Bismillah, let's start. Okay. Hello, my name is Tariq Abubaker. I am an IT enterprise architect, works for Kuwait Finance House. I have more than 12 years of experience in IT in general. Most of these, around 8 years of them in the banking sector. I participated in many projects, including maybe core banking, architecture, SOA, AML and payment solutions. I'm already an Azure certified and an Azure Solutions Architect certified, an official Microsoft certified trainer. I have been even recognized by Microsoft by having two badges, the Azure Heroes badges they call it, the Content Hero and the Community Hero, and they have other certificates. No need to mention all of them. For anyone who wants to contact me, these are my social media accounts. I have my own blog. I have even a channel on YouTube called Coded with Tariq, where you have maybe some similar sessions like this even recorded. I'm also the organizer of Azure Kuwait user group, and currently we are partnership with and being part of a bigger family called Azure Heroes. And this is maybe the first session from Azure Heroes, and inshallah we'll hope that you will enjoy what you will see and you will hear from me and other participants as well. Enough of me. Now let's talk about what we want to say today about bots. So I always like to start with the definition, to have a common banking, solid, let's say, foundation we can build on it. So if we want to define the bots, what are the bots in general? The surprising thing maybe to a lot of you will be that the bot is just simply an application which performs one or more automated tasks. So it is not that something fancy, something you are not aware of. Maybe the only thing it has an extra capabilities you will see on top of the normal applications you do. If most of you are coming, if anyone, sorry, comes from a development background, he or she will learn this. It is really just maybe an application, or like what we will see in the couple of slides in 5 or 10 minutes, that it's a web application or a web API application, just has an extra capabilities which give it the AI flavor, let's call it, or the machine learning flavor. That's it. So this is for the bots. The chatbots is a subset of the bots, you can say. It's also an application, but the purpose of for it, to interact with the customers or with the end users in a conversational or in a conversational way, where maybe a text will come or even an audio can come, which is, you'll have a dialogue. So it takes the whole input and put it in a dialogue form, so it can understand the intent of the customer and translate it and knows what he or she meant and do the needed action based on that. For sure, we will see this inshallah in a couple of minutes, how we can do this. Here there is a big variety when it comes to the chatbots. It can be starting from a simple one where it's just checking for maybe some simple or keywords, and based on that it can do some actions, or can have some sophisticated neural language processing like NLP or something like that. And this slide will show you, the history of chatbots, how it started, since when we have chatbots. So maybe most of you will say maybe it is, I don't know, 5-10 years back, but believe me, it's way back. It started in 1966 by Eliza, then it came, along. You can see all of the development happened till for sure we didn't stop at 2016. There is more, but I said this is what we can show in a brief. As you can see, the 1966 ELIZA, it was I think developed by IBM during that time, as I recall, and it just I think it just tried to do like some sort of opening conversation. That's it. It's just doesn't even, how can I say it, answer or do an action. It just, if you say or ask, how are you today? I'm fine. Or what about you? So whatever topic you will type, and it will reply back with an open, question, which can open multiple, I think, topics. I think there is a version of it, and someone did the same one, and you can find it over the internet. Okay, so it is there, and it can be accessed through the command prompt, something like that, as I remember. Maybe till we reach here, maybe the Alice and the IBM Watson. Here we can, especially when IBM's Watson came to the picture, the modern chatbots or bots, came to the picture, like what we know it now. And after that, Siri came, Google Now, Alexa, Cortana, and so on. And we have some public ones, which was for a trial, like Tay, I think, from Microsoft, and it was shut it down. You can search for the reason. Yeah, and there was another one after that, I think Zoe or something like that. طيب, where normally we will or we would find chatbots in these days? You'll find them sometimes act as an agent for users, especially when now most of the websites, once you jump into the website, you'll find a pop-up came, and a bot start a conversation with you. Do you need help? Do you whatever? So it can help as acting an agent. Okay. It translates users' intent and trying, to sometimes trade the needed action from the customer, and what's the problem or something. So they can translate all the intents meant by the customers or the users. Do some perform actions, It can normally these days it's combine data from multiple sources, maintaining a dialogue, as we said, with the customers, and sometimes it may show a personality, you know, in some cases. This is maybe one of the this slide and maybe the following two slides are a little bit. I will not say even just let's call it important. It's only it's also mind-blowing, or just, you know, showing you something. At least for myself, it was a surprising facts, you know. So why should we care, you know, about chatbots or something? We have currently applications and they are doing fine. Actually, because the first thing maybe you don't know that the messaging applications are dominating these days. And starting from the Q1 of 2015, the messaging apps were you know, dominating on top of the main four social media applications. So we are talking about WhatsApp and Messenger and WeChat and Viber. These big fours, their numbers here, if you can see from the chart, was of monthly active users was more than Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn, you know. So this is just telling you how the customers are shifting, or how the mindset is shifting. That's why the, you know, the organizations, you know, keep an eye about these statistics and thinks there is we need to shift. Our applications also needs to have this capability, you know, to adapt with the customers and with the norm currently in the business. And unfortunately, I tried to find something after 2017, but I didn't find, you know. But at least at this period, there was a big, and the gap is going more and more, it seems. These are some predictions from some known, you know, research organization or something. So according to Business Insider, they are saying by 2023, chatbots are going to save banking and healthcare and retail sectors up to 11 billion annually. It's a huge number. I remember here also from Business Insider, as I recalled, they said that the consumer in retail going to spend around 142 billions, you know, using the chatbots, okay, to do the sales through chatbots, comparing with 2.8 when we compare it in 2019. So there is even here something called that there will be an investment around $4.5 billion will be invested in chatbots. So this, even for us as a technology people or something, it can be an opportunity, you know, to have better jobs, or maybe better salaries or something. Because this number, when we say there is $4.5 billion will be invested, if you are part of this ecosystem, for sure you will have a share of this, maybe a share by having, you know, being a professional developer or an architect of such applications. Maybe you'll have your own business based on this, who knows. These are the additional benefits you can have by using the chatbots. You can engage with the chat generation, as you can see what we just explained on the previous two slides, that the current generation is more to the chat, it seems, compared with other generations. And you can lower the business cost to serve internally and externally, because a lot of the things, you know, the chatbot, it's good to do is to do the repetitive, you know, processes, which normally, you know, you'll have maybe 2 or 3 employees are doing it. and you can just put a chatbot which have more efficient and will not have that issue of repeating it. It will be more fast, no issues or errors will be introduced. I'm not here saying that we have to replace employees. We are saying that there will be an opportunity instead of putting someone, because as a human being, your value is much, much higher than doing a repetitive thing. You should always, challenge yourself, maybe try to find solutions for some of the problems the organization are facing in a daily basis, not to do a repetitive thing like a machine without maybe thinking or introduce a new intelligent thing. So the repetitive thing should be done by, this is at least what I believe on, should be done by machines or applications, and the human being should be going to the upper level by utilizing their minds, on solving other sophisticated issues. And this is what I was saying just now, that improving the resources by focusing on other tasks. I'm not saying here just lay off the employees and khalas, we don't need them. No, this is not the case. And you can just utilize them in a better places more quickly and connect to the users with information and services, especially when the chatbot is connected to a big knowledge base where a normal average guy to find the information will take maybe roughly maybe minutes. Here within seconds you can serve the information, and it can act as a friendly navigator for legacy or legacy systems or when we have big data. Here are some of the examples these days we see. The chatbot here is in some sort of, I think this is from Bank of America. So even in banking, in some sensitive things, they are using it. Here in flights and hotel booking. Here, even in the news. This is as an overview about all the when we talk about the bots and the chatbots. Now, what is Azure providing to us? How Azure is helping us, building a bot. Now, let's say that I'm a manager or something, or an owner, and they said, okay, I want to invest in this, and I want to have for my application or my website should have a chatbot. How can I do it? So Azure have a bot services, which is actually is an integrated environment. The purpose of it is just to give you enable you to build, connect, test, deploy, and manage the bots. Okay, and it's not even any bot. It will be, inshallah, if you implement it in a good way, an intelligent bots even. The framework itself or the services, it contains also a framework and an SDK, which your development team can use. And this SDK supports C#, currently JavaScript, Python, and Java. And these are when it comes to the languages, you will have also some channels, even the bot services is serving. So it's a matter of just some clicks and you can publish your chatbot on the web, on maybe Cortana, on Skype, on Teams, on Bing, name it. A lot of even now a lot of connectors and out of the box deployment options are every day is introduced. This is when we talk about the Azure bot services. The bot services and the bot framework offer as I just mentioned, an SDK for developers. It gives you a tools to cover end-to-end development workflow. It gives you the ability to send and receive messages and the events between the bots and channels. And it gives an easy way to deploy and the chatbot on different channels. To enrich your bots and give it the flavor of, let's call, machine learning and AI, and give it the intelligence term, let's call it. Azure also provides some cognitive services which can be integrated and used by your chatbot. These services are the language. We have the QnA Maker, we have the speech, the search, and the vision. I think most of them, from their names, you can tell what they are doing. But here in a quick review, I can just tell you that the languages is a machine learning based service. Okay, it builds a neural language experience where it can tell what is the intent of the user or the customer, and based on that you can do some sort of action. The QnA Maker is just, and we will see inshallah today the QnA Maker. It's just simply will publish a simple question and answer, so it can serve you as a knowledge base for any static, let's say, knowledge base you want always to. For example, if someone is asking some information, you can just normally reply with it. The speech, it gives you some capability, to have like a speech to text services, and where it can hear the commands and identify them, and based on that, it can do whatever it needs. The search is just trying to give you the elastic search capability to search in multiple domains. And the vision, it can recognize faces, pictures, images, and tell you what's inside each of image. The beauty of the cognitive services starts when you combine multiple things based on your use case. You'll have a really nice experience, and you will start solving a lot of problem. I recall in one of my personal projects, I had an issue with my YouTube videos that normally there will be, for sure, I'll be speaking in one language. Either it will be Arabic, my native language, or English, like now. And when it comes to the Arabic ones, especially, YouTube is not automatically recognizing let's call what I was saying. So based on the speech one, combining with other stuff, and with another what you call it service to translate, even I managed to I made an application, a web application. You will just post the URL of the YouTube, saying what is the source language and to which languages you want to translate it, and immediately it will start recognizing the speech and translating it to the needed language. So you'll have the full transcript of your video and the translation, and even it gives me in which time specifically I did that sentence. I said that sentence. So it was a really one. Maybe if we have time, I can show you even a demo about it. So this is the components of a conversational AI experience. As I said, normally you will have, let me have first a laser pointer. You will have an input comes from the customer. It either will be a typing, a speech, maybe by voice or something, tapping on the screen, something like that, adaptive card, where, for example, you have multiple choices, they choose one of them. And this input, it goes either to one of the specific channels like Teams, Slack, email, Messenger, whatever, or the web, or it comes to a device like the smart devices currently these days we have, like I don't know, the speakers normally, for example, you have it, the car, for example, if the car has the capability, and this will be connected to the Azure Bot Services, and the Azure Bot Services will use one of these based on your use case and the implementation you are doing. It can use one of the cognitive services we just mentioned, like the speech, the Q&A, the language understanding, whatever. And based on that, there will be, this is the most complex scenario. When you combine multiple services, you'll have something called like the dispatcher. And based on some criteria, it can say, it can tell, this is what have been intended, okay, for example, by the customer, by understanding the language and the intent. It say, okay, so I will serve it from the knowledge base, and the knowledge base can be a manual PDF, database, data source, whatever. And it can go, for example, to a customized skill, or calling like an API or something, or even maybe go to the Office graph APIs and do something on Office 365. It even can maybe redirect you even to a human being, even if it cannot help you in that, okay? So this is normally how the experience is happening for the customers. So for today, we are going to, for sure, we'll have some sort of input. It will be typing typing the whatever we want to say. The channels will be the web, and maybe we can call it the emulator today. For sure, we'll have an Azure Bot Services. We'll use the Q&A, and we will serve the Q&A will take us to our knowledge base and try to answer our questions. So enough talking, let's do some action. By the way, we are not going to build these, huh? Okay, we are here. Let me bring. Okay, so I already logged into Azure. Okay, and I will go to create a new resource, and I will say just bot on the search. Okay, so I just say bot. You can see immediately. I can go to the web app bots, and from here I will get the web app bot, which is from Microsoft. I will click on create, and we'll start now doing or filling some of the things. We'll start with a handle. Okay, so I will call it Azure Heroes bot. This I think should be a unique, yeah, it should be a unique identifier for your bot. You'll choose the subscription. I will create a new resource group for that. And I'll say the location, I will choose West Europe. Sorry. And then you'll go to the pricing. You have two types of pricing. You have the free, which is F0, and you have the S1. Let's talk a little bit about it. These are, yeah, if I want to see, okay, these are the pricing. Currently, these are the only two prices you have. So the free is at 10,000, I think, messages. I'm not sure. I think per month, or I'm not sure per what to be exact. We can double check that. And this is what it gives you: the bot creation tools, the free standard. Okay, and there is no guarantee about the SLA. This is a very important thing, and you cannot create more than one free bot per subscription. And you have the standard, which give you a 1K premium messages per unit. So I think this is per month. It will give you like a quota of 10K. That's it. If you reach it, you will be blocked till the next I think month or something. And this give you a 3 nines SLA, and this is an estimated cost, which is, I don't think it's that much. It's just $50 for each 1,000 messages, the estimated one. So I will go with the standard. Okay. So I choose the standard. Let's go back. Yeah, I will keep the name, the app name. Why the app name? Because once we will finish, you will see that it actually will create a web application or a web API application for the people who knows .NET and C#. And that's why you will have you will have a website. Here are the templates. So the templates, from what you can see, you can have a C# and Node.js. Maybe if someone is recalling from the from the slides, I said there is also Java, and the Java and other ones, they were in preview when, last time I checked, I believe. I'm not sure if they went, but it seems they're still in preview, but you can still use it. This is the template, which is provided by Azure, but the SDK is open for other languages already. So I will choose the EcoBot for the time being. And this is a template provided by Microsoft where we'll just send something to the bot, and the bot will reply back with whatever we just sent to it. Okay. We'll say okay. Hello. I hate it when it's doing like this stuff. Okay, it's already EcoBot, yeah. And for sure, because since it is a web application, there will be a service plan associated with that. I will not create an application inside, but it's recommended for sure for the production. And there is something will be created by Microsoft if you want to make it automatically, or you can do it yourself. It's something called the Microsoft App ID and Password, which works like an authenticator for you, for your application to start working. This is to allow like an authentication layer, you can say it. Let's just say okay. It will validate. I think, yeah, we have a little bit running of time. Till it finish, do we have any questions? Any questions, guys? You can just raise your hand and we'll give you the mic, or even type it if you want on the chat. If it takes time, I will switch to the till it finish, because we don't have that much of time and I don't want to take your time. We can go to an already one I created called Chatbot RG. So you will have the app bot service. It's a global service, as we said. Yeah, even our the one we have, it's created. Yeah. So if we go back to I want to show the. Okay, where is that one? Yeah, this is the one we just created. Yeah, the bot didn't create. No way. So this is the app, but let me refresh. Yeah, the other things still not coming from the API. Anyway, there will be a global service called Web App Bot, Okay, if you click on that, you'll have general information about the messaging endpoint, you know, the pricing tier you chose. You can start from here. You can change even the pricing later on. You can see the channel. You can test even the bot if we can go here and test it on the web. So it will start authorizing us, and I can start saying hi. Okay. And it will say echo hi. So anything I will type, it will say echo, then whatever I say. How are you? Okay, the hello and welcome came a little bit late, we'll see it. And that's it. Whatever like this, it will show us. You can download the source code, and this is a good start. It will give you the template, and you can open it using Visual Studio and start playing with the bot. And we'll see the code now in a second. Or if you don't want to start like this with a predefined template from Azure, you can start with a blank one, and you can install these templates on Visual Studio. You can check the documentation from Microsoft. It will tell you how to install these and templates and be part of the Visual Studio. So I already downloaded the code. Okay, and I will show you. Yeah, and that's it. So for anyone who is familiar with .NET, okay, he or she will notice that it's just normal web API application, where we have here the program file, we have the startup, we have some sort of controllers, the bot controller, and we have something called, you know, a special folder. It's not a special folder, actually, it's a folder called bots, which has our bots. So let me show you each one of these. So the program is normally like any web API, what you call it, application. So we are creating just a web host builder, and we are running the application. And this is the startup, okay, the non-startup and .NET. So you will have just a new maybe service, you know, a service for the bot, your bot. So anything from an iBot interface, and this is the implementation for it, which is the EcoBot. So if I go to the EcoBot, I will find that it's the EcoBot is inherit from something called activity handler. And this is actually where you have to focus here, understanding the framework and know what each component of the framework is offering you and how to interact with this. Normally with the EcoBot, or the simplest way, you will have, like as I said, in any class, which should be like a bot will maybe, this is one of the things that can inherit from the activity handler, and you will have two methods to override, something called on message activity async, and something called on members added async. And from their names, you can tell what they are doing. On members, it will be called by the framework whenever a new member or a new user joined or interact with the bot. So, and since this is the job of this method, so you know, we just put hello and welcome just to welcome the customer, because this is the first time it connects to the bot. And here it's just a for loop, just to check if this member is already, you know, because the user information will be even saved in the context of the bot, the whole memory. So we'll check if this the ID of the member or the user is already there. If it's not there, we will send the message. If he is not there, we'll not do anything. We'll not send him this message. So it's every time, you know, a member is added, we're just checking this. the other message, which is called on message activity, is just whenever a message is received from the user, we will receive this. Okay, so it has a turn context, something called turn context, and cancellation token. This is just for the async thing. Yeah. So what we are doing, we're just saying that reply with this text echo, and take whatever text inside the activity. So the text we are receiving, and we are putting this on a text, and here we just send activity. We are just sending this to the activity, which will be handled automatically. That's it. You have your yes, yeah.
Do still I need to understand .NET to build the chatbot on Azure, or there is another way to achieve that from Portal, drag drop?
No, till now they don't have something for the, as I know, for the drop down and these things. You have to know the framework. Yes, you need this because there is multiple ways, to do the what you call it, the bots. Okay, even, and this is maybe something. You don't need even the Azure services. The Azure services will give you more value, like as I said, the cognitive services and these things. But you can, with the SDK and hosted in your own data center, you can do a simple chatbots where, for example, it will rely on what we call it, a keywords, or it can go in a workflow, like for example, a step 1, step 2, step 3, and you will just show whatever in each step certain choices to the user to choose from. If he choose something beyond these 3, you can just reply that I couldn't understand you, please type something or press, like normally if you remember or you recall what we used to call it an IVR, when you call for example, a bank or any organization, and you will start hearing this someone saying welcome to blah 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 company, for this option press 1, for this press 2. Is the similar way you can achieve even with the SDK without Azure. But this is not the modern way, because you are just making the customer goes in a certain flow. Okay, a specific process, you design it specifically, and it's not something easily, and anything you want to add or modify in that, you need to take it back to your development team and start playing with that workflow. But what Azure is providing to you is whenever you have the skeleton and the main framework is deployed there, once you wire it up with other cognitive services, your business users can go to these cognitive services and start enhancing the knowledge base, for example, without touching the code. So this is maybe the two difference between the things. But answering your question again, if we have like a drag drop or something, as I know, no, we don't have till now. Maybe in the future. Bot user. I think you can use Node.js as well, if not C# or Python. Yes, you are right. Node.js can be used as well, and Python as well. Yes, we showed this on the slide. So let me just run this one. So I will run locally in my machine. I will run the application. So we are in debugging mode currently. Okay, and this is just a normal startup page. It's there by default in the framework, just to tell you that your bot is ready, and here if you want to connect to it. So if you notice, it's an API application. So I will bring what we call it, the bot framework emulator. This is officially provided by Microsoft to test your bots. So, and I will just open the bot. I will put the URL. Okay, here, as you can see, this is the Microsoft App ID and app passwords. I will not provide them because in my configuration, in the app configuration, I just remove them and I put them blank. So no need for a certain app ID and password that you can create whatever you want, just some sort of, what you call it, another level of security if you want. Okay, and I will say connect. And you will start noticing that the emulator is doing some connectivity. It's pure HTTP conversation, a pure API thing. For anyone knows programming, he can understand this very easily. So as you can see here, oh, sorry. Okay, go here. So it just went to this conversation and the conversation ID, blah, 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 and it just put a post, HTTP post, and the return thing was 200. So if I click on that, let me here, and you can see the request, how it was, what was being sent. This is the form, the ID of the bot, you know, what we sent. Okay, the recipient was blah, 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 blah. And if I click in any, and this is because I just recently joined the conversation, I received the hello and welcome, which I just told you about. So if I click on this one even, I think, yeah, I can see, no, I think this is the return, yeah. Member added. You can, it will tell you every step what's the framework is doing. So it added another user, you know, to the conversation. So currently we have a bot, we have a user. Okay, we have the bot, which is by default would be there, and the user, because I didn't give myself like identity or something, but you can put another identity. So let's say hi, and let's say hi, hello, hello. Let's see if this is. I will put a breakpoint here, and we'll see. So we'll say Azure Heroes, and I have been, yeah, if I go to the text here, yeah, it says Azure Heroes. So as simple as this, guys. And I will construct the text, and I will send it, and I will say continue. See, echo Azure Heroes. So this is a very, very easy way, you know, to start maybe building even locally your bots. Let's go back. Okay, come here. Let's go back to. For sure, the emulator as well can connect. Yani if I want, we can even connect to a different URL, which is in Azure, the one just we created. It will do the same thing, yani, but we have to provide then the app ID and the app password. But I'm just telling you, yani, what it's doing. Let's go back to the slides. Okay. Okay. Now we just saw a very simple, let's call it a bot. Actually, this is not the thing we came to see. We want something more, a little bit advanced, which can help us in maybe at least, you know, having a big knowledge base to start serving. So I will show you today, inshallah, only maybe one of the easiest cognitive services called the QnA Maker. So what's the QnA Maker? It's a cloud-based natural language processing service. Easily gives you a conversational mechanism to know exactly where or what your customers want to know about. So it will connect to some sort of data source or a knowledge base, we call it, and it will fetch the appropriate answer based on the input we received. Okay, once we create this service, it will create some sort of indexing on our knowledge base to start fetching the information very quickly as well. So when we have to use the QnA Maker, so the QnA Maker normally is used whenever you have a static information you have to show. So some sort, for example, when someone is asking about information, a general information will not change, like when did your company started? Start 1990. خلاص, it's 1990. It will not change. So it's a static information. Even you can use this QnA Maker service whenever you want to provide the same, as we said, answer to a request or a question or command. So it's some sort of static information as well. Whenever you want to filter a static information based on some metadata, meta information or something. Also, you can use it whenever you want to manage a bot conversation, which include some static information. So it's, from what you can see, it's just in the orbit of static informations. So a very quick demo on this. Let's go back and okay, so I will say QnA Maker.ai. This is where you can create the QnA Maker. It's not in Azure, okay? It's part of Azure, but this is a separate portal for it. Most of the AI cognitive services, they have their own portal. So I'll go to that. I'm not signed in. I should be signed in. Anyway, you'll sign in. Now, for sure, you'll use the same credentials you used to log into Azure, and it will start listing you all the directories you have, all the subscriptions. And I have currently already one knowledge base. In your case, maybe you will not find anything. And for me, I will do it with you. I will create a new one. So let's create. I'll click on create a knowledge base. So the first step is to go to Azure and create a QnA. So I will say, yes, go to Azure and create a QnA. So it will take me to Azure, and it will open the template for me to start putting the information. So I will choose the subscription. I'll choose the, actually, what was that? It's called Azure Heroes Bot, yes. And the name, I will call it Azure Heroes KB or QnA. Let's call it QnA. Much better. Also here we have two types of pricing. We have the free and the standard also. So I will go for the standard. You can go with the free. There is no harm with the free. It works perfectly. Okay, for development and purposes, you can go with the development. Yeah, it will work. Don't worry. But I will not use it because I have already another one which is provisioned, so it will fail for me if I choose it. That's why I go for the standard. I will choose the location, the pricing tier of the search indexing, and you have here multiple choices. You have the free, sorry, which gives you 3 indexes. So it will create 3 indexes in your data source or your knowledge base. You can go with the basic, the standard, whatever. I can go with the basic. I'll go with the basic. And the app name, okay. And where to host it, Europe. I will disable I disabled the app insights, don't need it for the time being, but for production purposes, yes, it is much better, you know, for sure you need to have it. So it's now validating, and it will create the QnA. I can see some. Okay. We still. Okay, so it's created the web server farm, the search. Any question? Okay, let's go to the resource. So the resource, as simple as this, it will tell you whatever has been provisioned, these things. Now you can go back to the portal of the QnA Maker and go to the step 2 and choose. It's recommended to do a refresh just to make sure it reads the latest QnA services you just provisioned. You'll choose the directory, the subscription, the QnA. Yeah, we have here 2 because I have another one. I will choose the new one I just created, Azure QnA. No endpoint. Yes, it needs 10 minutes to. This is the maximum. I will give it another try. If it didn't detect the endpoint, because it takes time, you know, to publish the endpoint from Azure. Yep, it's still. We'll wait a little bit. Even when I did it yesterday, it took around 3-5 minutes, you know, to get the endpoint. Yeah, okay, now it's published. So I can choose the language which the bot is going to support. So I will go with the English for the time being. Okay. This is your primary, the knowledge base language, which I will not say the bot, I will say the knowledge base, we call it the knowledge base language, it will support. Now it will tell you what's the name of what you will name your knowledge base. So I'll give it the same name, you know, of the QnA. And here, now the nice thing that from where to pull the knowledge base, you have a lot of options here. You can go with if you have like a page, normally the FAQ, the frequent asked questions pages, you can put it here and it can parse it and, you know, import all of these questions and answers for you. So, and this is what we will do. I will take one of the Azure pages. So this is the page which I will take, which is the Azure Support Plans FAQ. So we have multiple questions with answers, blah, blah, blah. So we will take all of this. So I will say this is the first one, add the URL. You can add multiple ones. And you can add a file, which can be an Excel, it can be a CSV, it can be a structured PDF or a Word document. It can also parse that one. Let me show you the QnA Excel sheet I just made. So the Excel or the CSV can be as simple as this: a column for the questions and a column for the answers. Okay, that's it. Nothing more than this. So just close it, and I will say, please take this Excel sheet. Here there is something called chit chat, which gives like some sort of personality to your chatbot knowledge base. So this will give, it will import a predefined maybe conversations to the chatbot. So like, for example, when you say hi or hello, any some sort of greeting, the chatbot knows how to respond to that. Without, teaching it, it will be imported. And there is some sort of, what you call it, personal, some characters can be associated with the chatbots or personalities. So there is the professional way, so it will always reply in a professional way. It can have like a friendly way, so hi, what's up, and like this, what you're doing. It will not be a formal one, and you can explore all of these. You can just choose one of them. I like the friendly one. Last thing you will say, please create the knowledge base for me. So now it's parsing and crawling, over the content we just provided, and it will create the knowledge base for us. Till it finish. Okay, QnA Maker. Did it take it time? Okay, it finished. Every time I want to show you the something which is already there. Okay, so this is what it got. If I just collapse everything. Okay, so we have 3 sources here of our knowledge base. The first one, which was the FAQ page of Microsoft support. We have the Excel sheet, and the last one is the one which gives our chatbot friendly personality. So if I open any one of these, I will see, okay, some sort of sentences, and what is the answer. So it's always a question and an answer, and the same question can multiple questions, sorry, can have the same answer. Okay, so this is created for us, no need to do all of this. This is from my sheet, so I can have, so this one I have something. So for example, say what is Azure Kuwait. It tells Azure Kuwait is so blah blah blah. It's introducing Azure Kuwait. How can I contribute, and these things. And this is which came from the Microsoft page. So where is Azure support is available. This is the answer. You can even put alternative phrases for the same question. Yeah. Okay. After you finish, you can even test it here from the portal itself. Okay. And I would say, for example, let's say where I can find Azure support. Okay. Okay, so it replied the support is available in markets where Microsoft Azure is offered some specific. So it seems it is the answer we are looking for. You can go and say inspect, and it will tell you what it found. So what it found, 3 answers. Okay, this was the one which has the most appropriate answer, which has the most confident score, because everything will come with a confident score. And this one has a lower one, so I think 95 here, and this is the least one. So there will be a threshold, or it depends how you want even to utilize this service when you start consuming it in your what you call it, in your code or your chatbot. So you can take always the first or the most appropriate answer came to you. Or you can just rely on the confident only. And for example, we can have 3 answers, but maybe the highest one or the most appropriate one from you know, the QnA Maker perspective, it has a confidence of below 50. So you don't want to show that one because you are sure anything below 50 is not a good answer. This is not the answer I'm looking for. So instead of showing something from the knowledge base, you can say, sorry, we didn't find your answer, or maybe show the answer and say we are not sure, we are not confident about that. Does it, is this the right answer? And if the customer say yes, you can even take this feedback, you know, to enhance the what you call it, your knowledge base and the confidence, and build the model again. And this is another topic, how you can take the feedback back from the customers and put it in an automated loop. This is a little bit advanced maybe topic to show this. So this is how I can even say, no, this is maybe the appropriate one. So sorry, the first one was the confident is 95. The second one was the confident, see here is 56. Okay, so maybe I will say this is the correct one. So if I see this is the correct one, okay, because we're still in the training phase, I can say save and train, and it will consider this with a more high confidence. But this is the correct one. I will keep it. So I will say something. What is Azure Kuwait? I will not say Azure Kuwait because I know it's there in the what you call it. It is there on the questions. I will say instead of Azure, I will say .NET Kuwait. I will see, is it going to understand it or not? See, it says Azure Kuwait started, but this is not the correct one, right? So this is the confident, it found 59, but this is the correct one. Azure Kuwait is community group gathering, blah, blah, blah. So I will say this is the correct one, which is 43, and I will say, please now save and train again. So every time we are saving and training the model. Okay, the first time it has been trained for us. I know we are, okay, we are beyond the hour already, but hold with me. So let's start over. I will take the same question again, just to test it. And I will say start over. So what is .NET Kuwait? See, now it gave me that one, and the confidence is 100. Why? Because I taught the knowledge base or the QnA Maker that this is, for this specific question, this is the answer for sure. So that's why the confidence is here now 100. Okay. And for sure, if I say hi, it will reply, for example, hi back, or how are you? This came from the last source. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Okay, so if I inspect, this is a confident also 100 because it seems the same question is mentioned exactly the same way. But enough of this. I will say now publish. Now till now the QnA Maker or the knowledge base is not yet published to be used. So I will publish it. Now I'm happy with the results and I want to publish it. And this is what I was saying, Rosan, before, that when you start using or utilizing the cognitive services, there is no need to do changes maybe in the code every time. So if someone wants to enhance the knowledge base, they can do it from here, from the portal itself. So it will give me some information. It will give me like an example how to utilize the QnA Maker service through normal API calls through HTTP request. And I have to know multiple things. This is to be used within my code. I need the knowledge base ID, which is here. It comes here in the URL. I need to know the endpoint host, which is this, and I need the authorization key. Okay, and I will take all of these and I'll put them in a configuration file in my code. So I will open back the code, sorry for that, I'll open the code again. So this is the code we just left. Okay, and I will go to the configuration file. And currently, let me just copy these and I will comment them just in case, because these are for the other one I have. And I will go here. I will take the knowledge base ID. I have something called knowledge. I create a key called knowledge base ID. And I will take the host. So this is the host. And I will take the key. And I'll put the key here. Now what I have to do to make sure that everything is working fine, I have to import a new package. Okay, and I will go and I will try to find the Microsoft bot builder.ai.qna. I already imported that to this solution. Okay, and I will import it. Okay, which is normally you just say click and install. And from that, you will go to the startup class and you will add a couple of, you have to define, sorry, you have to define now the service. So I will just create a QnA Maker as a singleton. Okay, this is just some sort, for anyone knows .NET, especially .NET Core, he knows that for dependency injection, we have to provide implementation for our dependencies, because I will utilize the same one. I will my bot will require this. So the framework should knows how to create these endpoints. So the QnA Maker takes 3 inputs, which are the knowledge ID, the endpoint key, and the host, which will be, I will read them from the configuration. Okay, so this is the first thing. And I will go now to the bot itself, and I will create a property, okay, called EcoBot QnA, and for sure it will be passed from the framework through dependency injection. Okay, and here in the sending the messages, sorry, asking. Okay, I will create a new method. This is just for myself. I'll create this method, which called access QnA Maker. So what I will do, I will go and get the yes.
I believe we are running out of time.
Yeah, I'm finished. I'm rubbing out. Yeah, خلاص, this is the last thing I want to show. This is just I'm explaining this, and we are done. يعني Rosan. Thank you for highlighting this. So basically, guys, here I'm just getting the answer from the service, okay, and I'm just checking. I'm taking any result. If there is any result returned, I'm just taking the first one and show it, okay. Maybe putting a prefix called QnA Maker returned. Okay, and if I didn't find anything, sorry, there is nothing found. As simple as this. Okay, I hope I didn't forget anything. I will run it and will. So it's running. Okay, let's start. Yeah, I started now. So I will say is Azure Code, like that. So yeah, it returned from the QnA Maker. See? So if I say hi, how are you? For example, it will return from the QnA. If anything, I just type anything like this rubbish, and will not find it. Sorry, could not find an answer in the Q&A. As simple as this. Okay, so because we are running out of time, let's go back now. I think we are done. So that was the demo. These are the resources I used to do this presentation. And if you have any questions, be my guest, and thank you. Any questions? Gentlemen. So I think we don't have any question. Then okay, fine. Rosan, do you want to add anything or something before we wrap up for today? Rosan? Hello? Guys, you can hear me or not? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Okay. I think Rosan, he has some issues. Since we don't have any questions, I think that's for today. Thank you for your time, and thank you for being patient with me around half an hour extra. But forgive me. That's it for today. See you, inshallah, next week. We'll have something also about AI. I think Osama will be presenting. So till next week, have a nice or a good night. Bye bye.
Thank you, Tariq. Thank
Assalamu
you for
alaikum.
the amazing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tariq. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Tarek. Thank you, everybody.